Joy to the world. What happened? The podcast is so good. You good, buddy?
So on that note, let's get things started.
In case the mics didn't pick that up, I sang that dumb song, and then Owen just proceeded to drop his iPad, microphone, and phone all on the floor. Welcome back
Welcome.
to the What Happened podcast. It's a holiday special this week.
And episode number 10. Good milestone right
Number 10. Double digits, baby.
there. Little 2-for-1 action today.
You know, they say if you fly too close to the sun, you get burnt.
Is that relevant?
'Cause we're going sky high with this one, baby.
Oh, that's what you meant. Should have explained.
So, this week we're doing some wacky holiday events.
Well, I think yours is an event. Mine's kind of an event as well. Mine's just this like weird thing people like believe in with the holidays.
Oh, Festivus?
What?
Festivus?
Is that a word?
I don't know. It was a joke on Seinfeld, and now people celebrate Festivus.
Really?
Yeah.
What is Is that what you're doing it on?
No.
Okay. Thought there was a segue in. What is Festivus?
I don't know. I never saw that episode.
But you just... Okay.
While researching my thing,
Did it come up?
somehow Festivus came up. So,
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I know I'm going first today. And I'm talking about the one and only Santa's helper, Krampus.
oh, the Christmas Krampus?
I don't know if... Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Why are you just saying stuff? Okay. All right. So everyone knows about jolly old Saint Nick and the gifts he brings to those on the nice list.
I'm a fan.
And as we all know, what do kids on the naughty list get?
They get coal.
They get coal. But what do you get if fucking Krampus visits you?
Real quick, sidebar. Have you seen the new Mel Gibson Santa movie?
No.
It's called Fat Man.
Like this year?
Yeah, it came out this year.
Is he still acting?
He gives coal to a kid, and then the kid decides to put a hit out on Santa.
It's called Fat Man.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Is he Santa?
Yeah, Mel Gibson is Santa.
That's probably not okay.
Probably not.
Is it like a Netflix special?
I think it's Amazon.
Really?
But, you know, I mean, Mel Gibson does hate Jewish people, so, like, it kind of checks out for Santa, you know?
That he'd be Santa Claus?
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
All right, so what do you get if Krampus visits you, Ryan?
Coal?
It's a little worse than that. We'll get there, all right? I just wanted to set the imagery, you know?
Okay.
All right, so Krampus is described as a horned anthropomorphic figure. Hairy, usually brown or black hair. He has an extremely long tongue and a pair of fangs.
Sounds just like my dad.
The hairy part, or please tell me not the tongue part.
All of it.
He also has long hooves and horns of a goat on his head. So he's kind of like, have you ever seen Percy Jackson?
Yeah.
The movie,
Yeah.
the goat dude, that's his bottom half.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you're describing the devil.
I mean, yeah, kind of. It wasn't initially... I mean, I'll talk a little more about it, but it wasn't initially the devil, and then the Catholic Church made it an image of the devil because they're tolerant of everyone else's beliefs. So, Krampus is always burdened by chains, which, like I just said, believed to have begun as a symbol for chaining the devil in the Christian Church.
Interesting.
So he's like from the bottom down, he's a goat, but he's this really tall, ominous figure with a just terrifying face, fangs, and like a long tongue. And then he just like has chains
He's
on
clinking
him all the time.
You know,
He's
so
always
you're gonna hear him coming.
Exactly. So Krampus, you know, Santa carries toys. Krampus carries either a whip or birch sticks to just beat the shit out of kids.
Please tell me it's like a German folklore.
It is
tale.
actually German.
Yep, yeah,
It's German, Austria, and like what is it? And Hungary.
That checks out for Germany, you know.
Yeah. I'll talk more about it, but the Krampus movie I watched is the grandmother's German and just speaks German the entire time, but no one understands her. But she knows it's Krampus, but no one else does.
Or Hansel, if you are bad for Christmas, the Krampus will kill you.
I'll talk about the movie later because it was relevant and I just watched it specifically for this.
Okay.
And it was on Amazon, so highly recommend.
Okay.
Anyway, so he carries branches to whip kids, and sometimes he's either pictured with a sack like Santa or a cart, but this is so he can kidnap naughty children, where he then takes them, eats them, drowns them, or banishes them to hell.
I found a picture of him with a
Which
red barrel on his back
so that's
with a kid in it.
old-fashioned one. There are some real ones that are just absolutely terrifying of Krampus. Yeah, he's not the nicest of people. So Krampus has been a part of Central European Alpine folklore going back at least a millennium.
Was that 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
So since the 17th century, Krampus traditionally accompanies Saint Nicholas and angels on the evening of December 5th to visit households to reward children that have been good while reprimanding those who have not. So December 5th. This isn't Christmas. This is so I'll talk about it a little more in a second, but Santa would go find the nice kids, and then the bad kids would just get like beat the shit out of by Krampus.
So hear me out. Jolly old Saint Nick, right? He's
also I think Saint Nick started in Germany. I think I found that when I was researching this.
Okay,
so they're both German folklore, and then
regardless, hear me out, right?
One took off.
Santa Claus is a beacon of purity.
Correct.
Super nice guy. Spends the entire year making
building
toys,
and then rewards people for being nice.
And he hangs out with a goat man that banishes children to hell.
Yeah, he's not everyone's perfect. Yeah, so this is on December 5th, and so the Feast of St. Nicholas is celebrated in parts of Europe on December 6th. On the preceding evening of December 5th, it's called Krampus Night, or in German, it's Krampusnacht.
Krampusnacht.
The wicked hairy devil appears on the streets in search of children. Sometimes accompanying St. Nicholas and sometimes on his own, Krampus visits homes and businesses throughout the night in search of children. Just the bad ones, don't worry. You're good. If you're like a nice kid, you get visited by Santa the next night on December 6th, and Krampus doesn't like ban you to hell after he kills you. I understand the parents with Santa being like, hey, we reward you for good behavior. But I feel like a parent took it a little too far. That was like, there's this goat man that will come in the middle of the goddamn night.
He's going to beat you with a stick.
Yeah, eat half of you and then ban you to hell if you're a bad kid.
He's going to drown your top half and chuck your legs into hell.
And it's just like, okay, Mom. Like,
all right, Mom, I'll cut the grass. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like someone took it a little too far. So these traditions, like we said earlier, are primarily seen in Austria, Germany, and Hungary, but has become an almost cult classic across the world.
I mean, there's a freaking Krampus movie.
There's there's a ton of Krampus movies. You know what? None of the Krampus movies I saw, some were Christmas, but they're all horror themed. Why can't Krampus have his own nice Christmas movie?
Yeah, I want to see like Krampus Takes Manhattan or something.
That'd be cool. It's like Elf.
Yeah, but with the Krampus.
Yeah, exactly. And then like there's a mall Krampus that you got to sit on his lap.
Paul Blart Mall Krampus. I'd pay to see that movie.
And he's like, "Have you been naughty?" And there's just this like goat figure yelling at you in the mall.
I'd pay to watch that.
I'd pay to watch a lot of that. I mean, as long as we're going back to yours, as long as Kevin James is in it, I'll pay to watch it. Pixels, horrible movie, but Kevin James was president, so I had to watch it. So, now, is there any way to prevent Krampus from just either stealing your child or from just stealing you?
Gunther must be a good little boy, so Krampus does not take him.
So, besides being good, but what if he shows up at your house to take your kid? Is there a way to get
Is
him
it
to
some
leave?
like stupid magical ward? Like you have to like sneeze at him or something, and he's
I
like,
wish.
ah.
That'd be a lot cooler. No, it's that you just give him homemade schnapps.
So if you don't
Just get
want
him
Krampus
drunk.
to kill your kid, just get him drunk.
Yeah, and hopefully he likes to drink enough.
I could see Krampus sipping on a peach schnapps, you know?
Yeah, like in your living room as you're sitting across from him sweating.
He's just going through your kitchen like, oh, a lovely Christmas card.
So, Krampus is believed to have stemmed from pagan religions over like 1,000 years ago. It probably goes a lot further back. It's just hard to follow every pagan religion. So it's believed that he stems from pagan religions in these alpine regions of like, what is that, like Central Europe?
Germania?
Technically, yeah. Yeah, the Germanic culture.
Gotcha.
Say that. And obviously Christianity did have an influence on it. Like I said, Christians, the Catholic Church isn't exactly fond of other people's ideas of religion sometimes.
Yeah, checks out.
So they saw Krampus and were like, all right, we have to do something about this. So they were like, Krampus is the devil. And then everyone that was like, no, like he just like disciplines bad guys. And they were like, no, he's the devil. So we're going to like pretend like you have to put chains on him now because it's the symbol of the devil. And we're trying to chain him and hold him down, which is now why he's incorporated with chains.
That's
It's just the Catholic Church tried to like make him equal to the Catholic devil. So people would stop not worshiping Krampus, but like stop believing in Krampus and like telling their like 6-year-old Krampus are going to come kill him in the middle of the night.
Well, didn't they also like change the date of Christmas?
Yeah. Is there
Like-
something about that? Yeah.
Christmas, I forget what day it was, but it's something along the lines of like there was already like pagan celebrations
Oh, yes, actually.
on the 25th of
Yeah.
December,
Yep.
and then the Catholic Church was like, all right, you guys can still celebrate on this day as long as you just talk about Jesus. And they were like, sure, whatever.
No, Christmas was born. I mean, like I said, Krampus does show up on the 5th of December. That's Krampus night. Or, yeah, Krampus night. So, like, that's his thing. So he doesn't exactly show up on Christmas Day. So he clearly wasn't associated with Christmas because he was a pagan ritual.
Yeah.
So, like, at least the church didn't, like, fully... I mean, I don't see why they would try to integrate a devil-like creature into their religion, but...
Well, they already have one. I don't know why they decided to...
Try to make
I
him
don't-
out to be another devil.
Devil too.
Like, he's not a bad guy. He just kills your kid.
Yeah, you just got to give him some schnapps, man.
Exactly. Sometimes he gets hangry. So, like I said earlier, Krampus is essentially pop culture, especially within America, because we just like do whatever the hell we want here and take other people's cool shit and like claim it as our own. So
The
there's
most
a
American
Krampus
thing
night.
to do.
Yeah, there's a Krampus night every year in Washington, D.C. on December 5th where people just dress up like Krampus and walk around. I didn't know it was a thing. It was really weird looking at pictures. It was like Krampus night 2006 and there's like 6 guys dressed as Krampus in like the middle of Washington, D.C., but it was like 3:30 p.m. so it was still light out and it was just really weird.
Do you think the Secret Service keeps tabs on Krampus night?
I would hate to do that detail. For so many reasons I would hate to do that detail. I also get scared really easily. So if you're trying to get shot. There are traditional parades in such events that are called Krampuslauf.
I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, in English it's called the Krampus Run, where it's a tradition mainly in Austria where young men dressed as Krampus participate and just run up and down the streets as Krampus. So like I said, DC kind of made their own because we can't just let other people have their own thing. So Krampus, to this day, is featured on holiday greeting cards throughout the Alpine nations.
Really?
Yeah, so you like open your card and be like, oh, grandmother sent me a card. It's just like a terrifying Krampus rather than Santa. And it's probably just like, hope you weren't naughty.
Happy Krampus night.
Yeah. After the events of the 1930s in Austria,
Okay.
won't delve any further into what happened there. That's
think
not
you
what we're
all
talking
know.
about. Krampus and his traditions were banned.
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah. Oh, the guy in charge was not a fan of Krampus.
Yeah.
Probably because he knew Krampus was coming for him one day. So it started to come back in the 1950s, and it fully came around in like the 1980s back in those nations. So Krampus has essentially been rising in like just like worldwide like fandom, I guess, since the 80s officially. But it was just this like really small town like belief. Then it was banned, and then it came back, and now everyone loves it.
Wait. So basically, Adolf Hitler's dad made really good schnapps, is what we're hearing.
Yeah. yeah. Those goddamn distilleries there, huh?
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. So Krampus, like I said earlier, is incredibly popular in American pop culture, and he's been featured in everything. I assume he's a he. I don't really know. It's a goat man, I think.
Yeah.
So he's been featured in books, plays, an episode of American Dad.
Great show.
He has his own video games. He has a ton of movies, but the one that stood out to me the most was a 2005 Universal Pictures comedy horror Christmas movie starring Adam Scott and Dave Koechner, dubbed, quote, Krampus.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 66%.
Sounds like a real... did it play at the Cannes Film Festival?
I doubt it did. I think it's Con.
I don't
went
care.
over this the other day.
I don't care how it's said, I'll be honest.
Uncultured. Honestly, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I've been through all 3 Cars movies. I watched it today right before I came here, and I hate horror movies, but it was a PG-13 horror movie, so it wasn't like scary. It's just the really dumb horror movie like decisions people make. Like, I don't know. I don't have to go into detail.
Let's
about
hide
it,
behind the candy cane. Christmas Krampus can't find us back here.
It's basically like Home Alone, but the grandmother is German, and her entire family was killed because she wished that her family would like go away back in like the 1930s, and Krampus came, killed all of her family, and it was like, I'm watching you. And then her grandson, fast forward to 2015, her grandson, who's Adam Scott's son, is like, I hate my family, and then like wrote a note to Santa and then ripped it up. And then like the wind took it, and Krampus was
came.
like, and then he like remembered Grammy, so he was like, I'm gonna kill your whole family.
That doesn't sound like a must-watch, I'll be honest.
It's a really bad movie. But then there's these scenes where Krampus has these friends, and he has like, remember the gingerbread man from Shrek?
Gingy?
Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah.
He has like an animated gingerbread man that like kills like 3 people.
What?
And then Adam Scott, it's middle of a blizzard, winter. Everyone has lost power, right? And Adam Scott's daughter, who's like probably 15, in the middle of the blizzard and the blackout, before Krampus hits, right, is like, oh, can I walk down a couple blocks to my boyfriend's house and see if he has power in the middle of this like horrible blizzard? And then Adam's like, yeah, go right ahead. Yeah.
It sounds like a safe activity.
Yeah, she died. Yeah.
Now, hear me out. Was she killed by Krampus, or
Yeah,
was she hit by a snowplow?
She was hiding under a snowplow, actually.
Okay.
And then there was like one of those little jack-in-the-boxes next to her, and it popped up, and it was just this like tiny clown thing. And then all of a sudden, it just like cut to a different angle, and she was just screaming bloody murder. And I was like, did the jack-in-the-box just kill her?
Or
because it's PG-13, so you don't see anything. It's a really bad movie. It's. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not great. So yeah, that's Krampus. He's been around forever. Started as a pagan belief. I don't know if he started with Santa Claus after Santa Claus, because like I said, I'm like pretty sure Santa started in Germany.
I'm gonna tell my kids about Krampus.
I'm 100% going to. Yeah, I'm gonna wear a goat mask and shit and stand out their
on
window
December
at
15th
night.
and be like, "Give me schnapps," and he's like, "Dad, I'm 8. Where do I get that?"
They're trying to sleep, and I'm just tapping on the window in a goat mask. But yeah, that's Krampus, and a really weird and kind of scary tradition in the Alpine nations of Central Europe.
Yeah, they got some weird stuff going on over there.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Ryan?
Okay, Owen. What are some of your Christmas traditions? There's a coaster there, by the way, that you could use.
No, it's okay. I'd rather stain.
You're really gonna put your iced coffee on my nice desk?
It's only. I'll move the glass of water.
I have another one over here.
No, it's okay. I insist. I'll stain it.
All right. Okay.
What
are some Christmas traditions?
My grandparents, like Christmas Eve, people come to my house, and then Christmas Day, I go to my aunt's house.
Okay. So maybe when you were younger, your parents would help you write a letter to the North Pole.
Oh yeah, we take out cookies, which I'm sure my dad was really excited to see me take out cookies every
Yeah.
every Christmas Eve.
Just so that Santa would know exactly what you wanted for Christmas.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
you had an advent calendar that you would open up another door every day in December and get some like disgusting milk chocolate out of it.
My mom used to tell me she had a direct line to Santa or like a helper. So anytime I was like a shithole kid, she would be like, "I'm gonna call Santa," and start dialing something on the phone, and I'd be like, "I'm sorry."
Did you leave milk and cookies out?
Yeah, we did. That's
Okay.
why my dad is the way he is.
At our old house, we lived at the bottom of a hill,
Okay.
surrounded by trees, and so there were like constantly acorns in our driveway. So my dad would like go around and like scoop up all the acorns and put them in a bucket.
For the deer?
Yeah,
Or
and
the
he-
reindeer.
Well, he
excuse
said it was for the reindeer.
me. Smart.
Yeah,
What do you do with the acorns?
I don't know.
Just chuck them in the backyard.
Whatever your Christmas traditions are, I bet you wouldn't want to wake up early Christmas morning, or I bet you would wake up early Christmas morning,
What?
run into the living room, and open all your presents with your family.
Absolutely. I'd wake my poor parents up at 5:30.
Yep. Sidebar. One year my dad had a shoulder surgery,
Mhm.
like the night before Christmas,
Okay.
or maybe like the 23rd or something. So I just remember one year opening gifts with him while he was just whacked out on painkillers. That was a fun night. Yeah, so largely around the world, December 25th is Christmas is,
Like a festive holiday.
festive holiday seen as a day of
Family.
peace,
Okay.
because that's the day that the Catholic Church told me that the little baby Jesus was born.
Mm.
Okay?
You gonna tell me there's like a bare knuckle boxer out there waiting?
Now, what if I told you, Owen, that in some places in Peru, on Christmas, entire communities come together to beat the crap out of each other?
Is it to set aside differences, or like is it like May 31st, or I don't know if that's a date in May, and you're like, "I'll see you on Christmas Day."
We'll get there. So, this is the tradition of Takanakwai? I had this
Can
nailed
can
earlier.
I ask to see it, knowing I won't be able to help in any way?
Yeah, hold on.
Takanaku.
Takan.
Takanuku. Tanakui. I don't know.
It's Peruvian. It's actually Quechua. So
Is that the native language of
yeah,
this area in Peru?
yeah. So
It's like Peru just speaks Spanish, so
here I'm gonna. So, anyways,
I don't
this
speak
is the
Finnish.
tradition of Takanakwe. Now, Takanakwe is held every year in the Chumavilcas province,
Where is that in Peru? Is that like the Sacred Valley?
southern Peru.
I was gonna say Sacred Valley because that's the one part of Peru I know.
It's in the Andes.
Yeah, I think yeah. I don't know. I watched like Gordon Ramsay, like Uncharted thing.
I love Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, he made eggs up there.
Sounds like Gordon Ramsay. So Takanakwe is held every year in that province, and the province is largely populated by Quechua people, which is a people group indigenous to Peru. Now, it's unknown how old Takanakwe is, and we don't know if it started as an adaptation of the Spanish dueling tradition, or if it has older Incan roots.
That'd be pretty sick if it was like an Incan ritual.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
However, over the years, Takanakwe has been associated heavily with Huaylia, and Huaylia is a sort of song, or Wailea, I think is how you say it.
That probably seems better.
It's a sort of song of rebellion in a sense. It's about like freedom and independence.
Okay.
It started in the 60s, and it was like back when the Quechua people had like no rights because of the Peruvian government.
Yeah.
It was like a song that they would sing for like to like stand up for themselves, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sort of harkens back to Spanish rule over Peru, and in a more modern sense, like oppression of indigenous people within Peru from the Peruvian government. So the tradition of Takanakwe is not only synonymous with expressing your beliefs in the face of oppression, but also duking it out with people who've wronged you over the year.
I love it.
So Takanakwe is a week-long festival.
Okay.
On
It's a week long.
yeah. So
Yikes.
on
Set hours?
Sun out to sundown? I don't know. So on December 15th, towns gather together for a parade with a Wailea music playing the entire time and like a ton of drinking.
What do they drink there?
Beer.
I didn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The festival ends on December 25th with a huge fight.
Oh, so it's 10 days long. I'm just being a dick.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It doesn't really, it's not that important.
I don't know.
We just had to look up how to say the freaking things.
So, yeah, it ends with a huge fight. But if you want to fight there, you have to be dressed the part. You can't just show up. Well, we'll get there, but you can just show up. But
What if you want to fight someone and they say no?
then you can't fight. So,
Sucks.
there are several different costumes you can wear for Takanakwe.
Okay.
The Maheño, the Carawatana, the Negro, the Langosta, and the Caragalo. So the Maheño is the simplest one. It's basically traditional horse riding gear from like around that area. The Carawatana is sort of a spin on the Maheño.
Sorry, I just like that. It's sort of a spin.
I didn't realize that was a
Where did
joke.
you copyright that from?
That's off the dome, baby. So they still wear the horse riding gear, but they add like a baller, like leather biker jacket and these huge leather
seriously?
chaps. Yeah.
Also, they're the cowboys.
Yeah, they're the cowboys.
All right.
And then they also wear either a dead bird or a deer skull on their head.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it's a little bit.
Wait, what if you like accidentally punch the deer skull?
Well, I think you wear that during the parade, and then,
Okay,
and then you
alright.
take it off for the fight. So
I wouldn't want to be fighting in a leather jacket and leather chaps.
the Negro costume is essentially a slave master costume. I don't really know how that one started.
Yikes.
Yeah. The Langosta, they dress like locust or lobster. Apparently, Langosta means both locust and lobster. Lobster in Quechua.
But isn't Peru... Is Peru landlocked?
Yeah.
How the hell do they have
Well, no,
lobster?
okay. It means lobster in Spanish, but also
Gotcha.
locust. So this one comes from in the 1940s when there was a huge plague of locusts that went through
Oh, that makes sense.
Chumba Vilcas.
Okay.
And basically, so there was like this huge locust plague, and then for Takanakwe, they dressed up as locust, and then that year the locust left. So now everyone was like, all right, we're going to dress up like locusts. Cause
Scare them away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Krampus.
And the last one is the Caragalo, which translates to the naked fool,
Oh.
which is basically when you show up without a costume.
Oh.
Like, you know those, like...
Thought you could just be like almost nude, just like fighting the dude.
like, you know those the kids on Halloween that were like, I'm dressing as myself.
Yeah, that was
But
me every year. Yeah.
It's just because you're too lazy to get a costume.
Also just didn't like costumes, you know.
All right. Freaking Caragello over here.
Did you wear costumes?
Yeah, I had costumes.
What, Harry Potter?
I know you don't like these glasses, but
Yeah, there was shade at
it's
you.
drip.
but
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, anyways. But the thing that all the costumes have in common is their masks. They all wear a traditional Chumba Vilca ski mask.
Okay.
And this is a tradition from back in the day when Takanakwe was the only day of the year that you could beat up your boss. And like you didn't want to know, you didn't want them to know who did it, so you would wear a mask.
Jeez, it's like the purge down there.
So December 15th, the parades start with the Wailea music and continue till December 25th. The 25th is the day of the fight, but it's not an all-out brawl like you might think. Takanakwe has rules.
Is there like a referee?
We'll get there.
Okay.
So firstly, both parties have to be willing to fight. You can't just like start pounding on any random person.
Yeah, that was my question because I would love to see that.
Yeah. And secondly, the fights are generally used to settle grievances between two parties.
Yep.
And then I mean, of course, there are some people who show up just because they want to like prove how strong they are.
Yeah, just like beat the crap out of some random guy.
Well, they still have to like abide by the rules and be like, "Hey, do you want to fight?" to show how like strong I am or whatever. So those are the rules. The day of the fight, the entire town comes together to make a circle, big fighting ring, right? 2 people enter, and there are actually refs during the fights.
Smart.
And when I say ref, I mean it's like one guy with a whip
my.
standing there to make sure you don't pick up a rock or start kicking some dude who's unconscious.
Would they like whip the air and make that large crack sound?
No, they whip you.
Okay,
They'll whip you.
I assumed that. I was just trying to
if you like knock a guy out and you keep fighting him, the guy just comes over and just starts whipping you.
Jesus.
So
punishment fits the crime.
Yep. So there's little in the way of protective gear. Each fighter basically just wraps his knuckles in cloth.
So at least it's not bare. Well, it's basically bare.
It's basically bare knuckle.
Yikes.
And I've seen some videos of people fighting, and it's not the MMA. Let's just say that their fighting style is basically this. You'll give your opponent a nice kick to the leg to throw them off balance and just start wailing on their head.
So what are the rules? Like if they fall and they don't get back up, that's it? Or if they just fall and that's it?
So, hold on. Well, we'll get
like there. Who? Okay.
Once one party goes down,
yep.
Or if the ref thinks that one person has the upper hand, they'll break off the fight. And 2 more people will enter and then start their fight. So it's basically like...
It's up to the refs.
If I'm going up against an 8-year-old, I could probably get 1 hit in before they before they call it off, you know?
Why would you have a grievance against an 8-year-old?
You never know, man. Those 8-year-olds be wilding out.
I think you'd be the one to show up to prove that you're strong, but some guy would come up to you and be like, "No, I want your kid."
So, now Takonakwe isn't exclusive for men, or even adults for that matter.
Oh, please tell me there's a juniors version.
You will frequently see women and children duking it out in the ring, and it's like really wild.
Sort of like some kid made a "yo mama" joke.
Yeah.
You wait 6 months.
Yeah, like you'll watch like 2 12-year-olds like beating the crap out of each other.
I gotta look this up later.
It's also like old people will do it too.
Oh god.
So it could be a couple of like Jerry's just being like, get over here.
This is fantastic.
Another thing that I forgot to write down is that when they fight, I don't know where this comes from, but it's like a tradition that you have to use this certain voice when you fight.
Oh.
You have to use this like really high pitched voice.
Oh, so it's not intimidating.
So you'll be like, "I'll kill you! Get over here!" It's really weird.
God.
And it's kind of more intimidating because everyone's drunk and has ski masks on, and they're just like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you!"
They sound like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot the part with the ski mask.
Yeah, it's a little...
that adds to it.
It's a little freaky. So these fights go on for the whole day across multiple cities and villages of people that practice Takanakwe. And now, Owen, you might say, this isn't in the Christmas spirit, Ryan, or... How can it be Christmas when you punch each other, Ryan?
Does everyone become like best friend after it?
Well, firstly, remember that this isn't a Christmas celebration. It just happens on December 25th.
Yeah, it happens in the same time frame.
And secondly, I would argue that it's more Christmassy than you might think.
No, why's that?
Because, Owen, per the rules of Takanakwe, every fight has to start and end with a hug.
I feel like that. Yeah, okay, but like I feel like the hug before you're about to punch someone in the face isn't as sincere as the hug after you just killed them.
Well, like, you ever, in like high school, you ever like have a friend that was like annoying you, so you're like, I'm just gonna fight you right now. You just duke it out, and then you feel better afterwards.
Yeah,
it's sort of like that.
Well, you feel worse because you lost.
Yeah, that's true. So remember, kids, next time you want to beat up your racist uncle at Christmas dinner, make sure you hug him before and after you do so.
Words of wisdom.
And that's Takanakwe.
So wait, can you do it to like family members too? There's no exclusions on
no,
who you can
as long as they agree
and
and it's not like a child that you're fighting.
So there's kind of a weight class.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like, it's probably out of respect, I'm sure.
I don't
right?
think they do like men versus women.
Okay.
I think it's just women versus women, kids versus kids, men versus men, 80-year-olds versus 80-year-olds.
Yeah, that I gotta see.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yikes.
wild.
Is there one guy standing by with like a first aid kit?
Nope.
Or do they just like walk away and like ice it with a beer?
They probably that
Probably
one.
that. Yeah.
Well, they're also like in the Andes, so if somebody gets like really hurt, it's like a 15-hour van ride through the mountains to get to like any sort of medical aid. But
So it's worth it.
the videos I watched, they didn't seem like anyone got really hurt.
Is it more of like a sporting kind of event? Like,
well, no one's really
like
keeping.
is it like a gentlemanly kind of fight?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
there's
like
respect.
they're also generally pretty short.
Okay.
So it's like each party will get a couple hits in, and then the
Hug
rest
each
will
other.
call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If a guy came up to me with a whip and was like, "Get back in the circle," like, yeah.
Yeah. I did see one video. Vice has a really good video about it. And there was one guy that picked up a rock during his fight, and like 3 guys with whips came out of nowhere and just started whipping him.
Yikes! He'll never do that again.
Hope not.
Takanakwe.
Takanakwe and the Christmas Krampus.
There's your title right there.
So,
Krampus Claus.
hey audience, just a quick little spiel from your old pal Ryan here, okay? Firstly, our normal spiel. Check us out on Instagram at whathappened_pod or Twitter at.
Oh, you don't know it yet? Official_WHPC.
There you go. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/whathappened.
We're also on Reddit now,
So
which is what happened.
that's our normal spiel. However, here's slightly more important spiel. Owen and I are going to be taking a break for the holidays. We hit double digits. We got a lot of listeners out there. And if you're listening right now, it means you've listened to everything.
10
Everything
episodes.
we have. And I just want to say that I love you. So,
I was gonna say thank you, but you know what? I love you.
hey, if you're a fan and you see me out there, ask to just Takanakwe me. I'll give you a hug, beat the crap out of you, then give you a hug again.
Okay. In all sincerity, if you actually see him, someone has to call me so I can show up, just so I can watch that.
But anyways, we're going to be taking a little break, so stay tuned in a couple weeks with new episodes, and we might have some more surprises with it for you when we come back.
I got some things in the work at the moment.
Yeah, so you're going to want to stay tuned. And we're out right now.
So until next time.
We're done.
And until next time.
Calling it now.
Until next time.
Yep,
Boom.
I keep saying we're done, and you keep talking.
You also keep talking. So until next time.
But okay, goodbye.